All right, so these are partitioning segments. These are from the worksheet. This is number 1 from the worksheet, and it tells me I have line segment AB that has endpoints at A and B. They give me the coordinates, and they want me to find C that divides it into a ratio of 1 to 2 from A to B. So let's do this. So step 1, okay, so we're going to just do this like this. Step 1 is going to be to plot the points. All right, so let's plot the points on my graph. And I told you again in class that you can use Desmos to help count to do this, but you also should get used to doing them by hand. So let's go ahead and plot this. So A is at 1, 2. Right here. A is at 1, 2. So that's my A. And B is at 4, 8. Which is right here. Okay, so there's my points. Okay. Step 2. Identify, rise, and run. Okay. So to do that, we have to know where we're starting from. And where we're starting from, they tell us. So they're actually telling us that we're going to go from A to B, which means my starting point is going to be at point A here. So let's go ahead and count. And because we're going to go up, my rise is going to also go up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that my rise or my y value is equal to 6. Okay, then we also have our run, and because it's going to the right, that means it's also going to stay positive. Our run is 2. So the run here or my x value is going to equal 2. Okay. So then we identified our rise and run. Because it went up, it's positive. Because it went right, it's positive. Step 3. Step 3 is to turn the ratio into a fraction. And remember, to do that, we talked about our formula. And our formula is A to B converts to A over A plus B. Okay. Well, if you go back up to the top up here, our ratio is 1 to 2. So if I go ahead and write that, we have a 1 to 2 ratio. And I convert it the way it says. A is 1 over 1 plus 2, which gives me 1/3. Okay. So, step 4. Step 4 is to multiply step 2 to step 3. Okay, so what I mean by that is you had an x, okay, from step 1. So let's take our x. Let's look at our x first from step 1. The x from step 1 comes from right here, so it's 2. So it's 2 times the fraction from step 3, which is, oh, I plotted point A wrong. That run should actually be 3. It should be 3 and 3. Gotta notice that. A should be at 1, 2. I put it at 2, 2. So A should actually be here, like that. Make it look like that. Okay, so our run is actually 3. So it's 3 times a third. Okay, remember this number from the front gets multiplied to the back to only the top number, which gives me 3 over 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then you do the same thing for your y value. Okay, so you take the y, or the from step 2, which is here, that's 6, and you're multiplying it by that same fraction, 1/3. So when you do that, 6 times 1 gives you 6 over 3, or just 2. Okay, then your last and final step, step 5. Add step 4 to starting point. Okay, so remember our starting point was point A, and A was at 1, 2. Okay, so if I take the x from A, which is 1, and I add what I got for the x's from step 4, I get my new x to be 2. If I do the same thing for y, if I take the original y, which was 2, and I add the y that we got from here from step 4, which is 2, 2 plus 2 gives me 4, which means my new point, or point C, is at 2, 4. All right, going on to the next one. This is number 9 from the worksheet. Or no, not number 9, sorry, number 3 from the worksheet. I saw the 9 there in the problem. All right, so then again, step 1. Plot the points. Okay, so they give me 2 points. They give me an x, which is at 4, 9, which is right here. Give me an x. And they give me a y at 0, negative 11, which technically is off this graph, but it's right. Well, it goes to 10, so we'll just put it here. Okay, so there's my y. Okay. All right, so I plotted the points. Okay. Step 2 is identify your rise and run. Okay, so if I look at this, they tell me that I'm going to go first. My starting point is from x to y, which means I'm starting here at x, right there. Okay, so I need to identify my rise and run from there. And because I have to go down, okay, my rise is negative. So my rise is negative 20. And also because I have to go left, my run is also going to be negative here. So anytime you go down or if you go left, you have to make the number negative. And that is negative 4. Okay. So we have now our run, which again represents our x as negative 4. We have to understand our rise, or our y, which is negative 20. Okay. Step 3, make the ratio into a fraction. Okay, so again, that is going to be your a to b converts to a over a plus b. Okay, so our ratio from up above, they tell me it goes into a 3-to-1 ratio. So 3-to-1 gives me a 3 over 3 plus 1, which gives me a fraction of 3 over 4. Okay, then step 4, multiply step 2 and step 3. Okay, so when I do that, if we're talking about our x's, we take the x from step 2, which in this case, our run, is negative 4. We're going to multiply it to the fraction from step 4, which is 3 over 4. Remember, top number gets multiplied to there, so it gives me negative 12 over 4, which gives me negative 3. Then you do the same thing for the y's. Take the y from step 2, which is negative 20, which comes from right here. Okay, and we're going to multiply it by the fraction from step 3, which is 3 over 4. Which gives me negative 60 over 4, which gives me negative 15. Okay. The last and final step Okay, step 5, add step 4 to starting point. Okay, so again, our starting point in this case was x, which was at 4, 9. Okay, so if we take the x from there, that's going to be 4, and we're adding the x from step 4, which is -3. We get our new x to be 1. If we do the y, which is at 9, and we add the new y from step 4, which is -15, we get -6. So that means that our point, which I think they said was z, yep, point z, is at 1, -6.